Evening everyone, Clip here in the shed again with my Corona here. I've got a new toy I've got to play with, so I thought I'd share it with you. So here it is. It's a record sc4 chuck for me woodwork lathe, courtesy of my mate Sharpie. These came up on, I think it was Yandles, and my mate Alan's got the same Union Jubilee wood lathe as me, and he knew I was after a chuck for it, and these came up which I thought were discontinued, so he emailed me and he ordered 2 of them, and the next day they turned up. The beauty of them is they came with the insert, which has got a 1" 10 thread on it, which goes on the Union Jubilee, which ain't all that easy to get hold of nowadays. So this will go with the insert straight onto my Union, my Jubilee. So what we got in here? Got a rather nice plastic box, which I'll never use once all this is out of it. We got the chuck body in a greasy plastic bag. It's a weighty old bit. We've got the insert. And it's also in a greasy plastic bag. All going to want a bit of brake cleaner on it and clean it up. Now that screws into the chuck, and that should go straight on the I'm going to want to degrease it all first. You get this chuck key. Now I did look at someone's review on YouTube about these. It's got a ball end, which in the instructions they tell you is a feature, so that you can tip it away from the, if you've got a big lump of wood in it or something, you can move it away. But they reckon that's a bit of a waste of time. It's better to saw it off, but see how I go with that. Now when I first opened this, because I already opened it, I thought that was it. I thought, shit, they don't come with any jaws, because they was pretty cheap. They was 130 quid, which ain't bad for one of these chucks, I don't think. Underneath the bit of plastic you get the faceplate that goes into the jaws, again in a plastic bag. You get a spanner for, I haven't opened this yet. I mean, this spanner is it's for tightening this up into the chuck, and would be out obviously for getting it on and off the lathe. And you get another bag. You've got a little screw, dog screw that goes into the chuck. You've got all the screws and things to put the jaws on the chuck, and some Allen keys in that bag. And then you've got the jaws. So I'll clean this up and screw the jaws on it. The jaws are all numbered, and they correspond to the number on the actual jaw that moves, because you can get different jaws for these chucks. So you got, it's not actually a, so when you're using it in contraction, you've got this little lip that's supposed to bite into the wood. Then you've got the dovetail on this side of the jaw. So like I said before, this screws into the chuck, this adapter. You also get this little grub screw and a little tiny leather pad that goes down into this hole here to hold this in place, as I believe. I'm not sure that'd be absolutely necessary, but it certainly would if you was going to use your lathe in reverse, but it would still come off me unless you had another one in the adapter on your lathe. It would still come off. Don't even know, that's hardly worth. I will bother with it just because I can. If I can drop this in here. It's gone down there. I missed that. There is an hole in there that's got to go down into that. So this pad's got to go down there, and then that's the threaded bit for this. Got a feeling on it. That's gone in that bloody hole now. So I'm going to leave that for a bit. Right, it's all nice and cleaned up and shiny now. Got a very, very tight, firm feel to it. I mean, it's really lovely and tight. You get the little screw chuck. I believe fits in there. And it closes over the jaws there. That's it, the jaws are closed right up, and that's on it. Yeah. Is useful if you're going to do a spindle. And then you've got the back plate, which you can screw onto your bit of work. And screw that out onto, if you want to use that. So I think it's time to get it on the lathe. I've got to suppose I could try it with this first. I might mount this onto a little mahogany blank I've got, and then stick it all on the lathe, and we'll give it a go on the lathe. Right, well that's the blank mounted on the faceplate. So let's go and get this mounted on the lathe and make some dust. That was easy. I'm just going to measure this first, so I can cut the dovetail in this end to turn this round. There's 60 by 5. Right, oh, if I turn the chuck the right way. Right, ready to make some chips. My visor. I ain't done no wood turning for quite a while. That is dusty. Alright then, let's see how well this thing holds. As you can see, this blank ain't exactly round. Still a bump there. Still there. I'll move the camera because I'm going to face the end now. Sharpen that. A bit of a bobble in the centre there. I'll just go in that with a I'm going to come off with here about 80 with a circle about 80 diameter. And I'll start shaping the edge of the bowl, the outside edge. And then I'll put the dovetail in there to turn it round. That'll do for my outside shape. Do a bit of sanding and then I'll cut this dovetail. I did a little bit more shaping. I thought it was a little bit boring when I was sanding it. Unfortunately the card ran out, but anyway, I've just put a little bit of a dink in there. I ain't turned the bowl for a very long time and I'm very, very rusty. But there you go, that's it so far. So now I need to turn this dovetail to see if I can turn it around and stick it in there. Right, so now the whole point of this is to see how well this thing holds when it gets turned around. So I want to cut the dovetail in here. It was 60 I wanted, so I can see the 30. Right, so I want to make a little recess in here about 1/4 of an inch deep. So I'll just crack that out of the way. Alright. So I'll bring that out to there and then I'll put the dovetail in it. There we go with this bowl gouge. I've never been very good with this. Just can't really get low enough. Carry on with the parting tool. A little bit deeper than that, I think. It says in the instructions that you need a 78.5 degree dovetail. This is a pretty shitty old skew I've got here, but it is around about that. So if I get that flush with that base, that should be about the thing, the 78.5 degrees. But see if I can get a better camera angle so you can see something on this. It should be somewhere near it. I'll switch it off, turn it round and see if I can hold it on there.